Greetings to you. We meet once more on our Python lessons. Today we are going to look at list, we are going to look at try, we are going to look at except, and then finally we try and do a mobile money app. If we don't finish, you would still have gotten somewhere. So the process is going to be a little bit lengthy, so try get some water or some Fanta or Coke or anything, free advertisement. Okay, and then try and sip so that you can stay through this lesson. So let's talk about list. Okay, so let's say I have something like Ama, I have Kweku, I have Kwesi, and I have Yaya. Alright, so now let's say I make all of this into a string, okay, and then I assign it into a variable called name. Okay, so if I want to print only Ama, then I have to say print and then say name and then do the brackets and bring 0 and then bring the this and then bring this count 0, 1, 2 and then bring 2, right? And then when I run this, it will print Ama. Okay, that will be 3. That will be 3. So when I run this, I'll get Ama. Alright. So and when I want to do the same for Kweku, I have to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So 5 and then 6, 7, 8, 9. So I get 10 here. So when I run it, I get Kweku. Okay, I'm supposed to start from 4 so that I get a K. So I get run, I get Kweku over here. However, let's say I'm asking for people's name. Okay, I ask them for their name. I wouldn't always know how long their name would be. Okay, so instead of putting it just into a string, I have to put it into a list. Okay, so in Python, this is how you create a list. So here you make this as a first string, you bring a comma, and then you make this into a second string, you bring your comma. Okay, so it looks like each one of them is a string, and then you have commas there, and then you bring these brackets. Okay, these square brackets. Now what I want to clarify is that they do not always have to be a string. You can put numbers here, so you can, for example, put 2 here, you can put 3 here. Okay, so if I now want to print I don't have to look for how many characters Ama is. I just have to print 0, and then when I run this, I get Ama. So when I go like 2 and I run this, I get Kwesi, which is 0, 1, 2. So 3, 4, 5. So if I do 5 here and I run this, I'll get 3. Okay, so this is how easy it is to actually save things in a list and then call them whenever you need them. Okay, and now we are going to do something called try and except. Okay, so let's comment this and do try and except. Okay, so let's say we ask a user to input a number. Okay, so we say input and then we bring please enter a number. Okay, and let's wrap all this around an integer. Okay, and then let's say that is a number. Okay, so now we run this, say enter a number. So I rather enter W. So if I rather enter W, you see that we have a name error. Okay, we have a name error here, meaning that since I was asking for an integer and a name error was given, I cannot go through with it. Okay, instead what we can do is actually do a try and accept and accept. All right, so what we can do is that we can ask it to try. Okay, so we say try, and then we put this S2 sign here, and then we say that int equals input this. Okay, and then we print it, but remember we get an error here because we have to let it be under it. Okay, so I just moved it under it, and then we say that accept. Okay, and then we have to bring the accept. Then we say print you did not enter a number. Okay, so basically what we are trying to say that, okay, run the software, but whilst you're running it, try to get an input from the user, which is an integer. If the user brings out enters an integer, then print the integer. But if the user is not able to bring out an integer but any other thing, then you shouldn't print it, rather, and you shouldn't also give an error. Rather, you should tell the user that he or she entered the wrong input. So let's run this and see. I type W, and then it tells me you did not enter a number. Okay, so now we don't have the error anymore. We have you did not enter a number. Okay, so we've done try and accept. Okay, this is where I'll end with you on try and accept. There is more to try and accept, where you can actually give the, but that would be for another day. This try and accept, I wanted to touch on it just so that we can create the mobile money app. Okay, so now let's start creating our mobile money app. Clear this, and then I'm going to try and use the Tigo Cash type, which is *110 hash. So when you go on *110 hash, it has the first option as send money. It has a second option of buy, a second option of buy airtime /data, and then it has a third option of withdraw cash, and it has a fourth option of pay bills, bank services, and let's skip to my account, which is my account. Okay, so this is what we are going to do. We are going to ask it to print all this. So let's put this here and say print. Okay, so one thing that we can do is that we can just put this options. Okay, so let's make it into a string. Then we can bring a a slash n here, a slash n here, okay, and then bring this and we slash it with an n again, and then we copy this, bring it and slash it with n again, and then copy this, bring it here and slash it with an n again. So basically what we are doing is that we don't want to be writing print this and then we will come again and say print that, because we want them to not be on the same line. Okay, we want them to go on a different line. So if we run this, we have first option as send money, second option as buy airtime. Let's slash this with an n so that they align properly. Okay, we're not getting them to align properly, but let's try this and see. That is not our main focus now, so let's just skip with that and then go ahead. So we have 1 as send money, 2 as buy airtime, 3 as withdraw cash, and 4 as account. Okay, so let's create a variable called amount. Okay, and then let's set the amount to 300. Okay, so that means that the person has 300 cedis in his or her account. Okay, so let's first deal with the person sending money. Okay, so if the person is supposed to send money, then how is it supposed to be? Okay, so first we are going to say that input, we are going to say that input, and then we are going to say select an option. Okay, so select an option, right? And then this will be there. So let's actually give this a name like first option. Okay, first option. Okay, and then write equal to sign. So then we can say that if first option is equal to 1, then do this. Oh, it looks like I started writing PHP code. Then do this, and then so what we are going to do is that if the first option is 1, then we'll ask the user for another input. Okay, so let's make this an int. Okay, now let's do something. Let's do the try. Okay, try this, so that just in case the person doesn't input a number, we can, and then let's say except. So if the person doesn't input a number, what do we tell the person? We tell the person that print invalid option. Okay, so this is how it's going to be. So if first person, so let's first try this. Let's comment this out. Right, let's comment this and then let's run this and see what happens. So select an option. So if we enter 1, we don't have any error, but then if we enter W, we have invalid option, right? Okay, so once we are using try and accept, that means that we are supposed to cut this, come here, and then put it under here. Okay, so the first thing to do is to try this. If it doesn't work, tell the person an invalid input, and then we go on. However, if it's successful, if the person selects 1, then what should we do? We say that input number, okay, input phone number, okay. Now let's do Elif. Let's copy this, paste it here. Elif first option equals 2, then let's say enter amount. Okay, so let's say enter amount. All right, and then let's have an Elif again. Elif first option equals 3, then okay, that is also enter amount anyway. So enter amount, but I think this one we have to say we have to give him, the person, 2 options. So we have to say something like print, and we say 1 data, and then /n, then 2, and then we say airtime. Okay, and then we give the person enter an option. Okay, I believe you're getting it to this point. So we say input equals enter amount, and then we have an Elif statement again here. We say if the option equals 4, then we should say that enter password. Okay, and let's say password equals 1 2 3 4. Okay, password is 1 2 3 4. So let's first try this and see how things are working. So we have an error, and the error is from here. So let's clear this, and we don't have to bring this anyway. That did not show an error, but I'm used to writing PHP code, so sometimes I just do those mistakes. So let's run this again, and it says enter an option. So if we enter 1, it says that input phone number, right? So let's run it again and say select an option. Let's select 2. Select an option 2. Oh, I'm gonna run it, sorry. So 2, enter, then we get data and airtime. Okay, and then we run this again and select 3, and then we get enter amount. Then we run this again and select 4, and we get enter password. So let's try and capitalize this. Okay. So enter amount, that is the third option. Enter amount to withdraw, and then let's say enter an option. Okay, and let's have this. Let's have input phone number to send money, or let's say input phone number, something like that. I think this is fine. Okay, so our select an option is supposed to be capitalized as well. Okay, so after doing this, then under this, okay, so if the person actually inputs a phone number, what happens? Okay, so since we need phone number let's also make it into an integer. Okay, so an int. Okay, and here let's name it phone number. Alright, and then say equals. That means that we are going to also say try. Okay, try this. Okay, that is, you should try this. I'm pressing the tab. Except say that print invalid phone number. Okay, so just in case the phone number of the person types something like www, then they should say invalid phone number. So let's come down here. So after the person has actually gone through the first process and entered the phone number, that is to send the amount, and then you have to say try again, and then say input. Okay, and then say let's wrap it around an integer. Okay, and say something like enter amount. Okay, try enter amount, then accept. Invalid amount. Okay, accept, print invalid amount. Okay, invalid amount. So what we can also do here is that we can check if the person actually has that amount of cash. Okay, so let's say that if amount that is send, let's attribute, let's give that to a variable send amount. Okay, if send amount, so if send amount is greater than 300, okay, then what should happen? Says that print you do not have enough to send. Okay, however, that is the elif send amount is less than 300, then the person has input the number and then the amount, then the person should input a password. Okay, input equals input. Here everything is int, right? Then int, and we say input, enter your code or your password. Okay, so enter your password. Okay, now this is what you are going to do. If you realize I'm writing this if statement and this elif statement because it's very important to write it under it. Once we are going to run this under it, that means that if it's less than it, you should ask for the password, and if the password, okay, oh, is that what I did? So user password, okay, that should be the variable. For me, that is what I want to use as a variable. So user password, if user password equals this password, okay, so if the password the user inputs is equal to this password, then what should happen? Then we should have a calculation here. We should have the amount, then minus the input amount. Okay, that's the send amount. Okay, so that will be the remaining. That will be the remaining amount equals this. Okay, so then we print you have successfully sent, and then the first thing we do is plus and say send amount. However, we are going to wrap this in a string str and then bring the plus sign here. You have successfully sent this amount. Let's have to and then what did we ask for again? We asked for the phone number. To phone number, and then let's say your remaining balance is, and then that one to we bring the remaining amount. Okay, so let's run this code and see what we get out of it. So enter an option. So we enter first option 1, enter the number, we enter 057777. Let's say we enter this, and then we enter amount of 2 cedis, and then we enter a password of 1234, and then it says invalid amount. Whoa, why? What did we do here? We say that enter amount. So where did we request for the password? Okay, so enter your password and you say if user password equals this, okay, so I went off a little to find out the problem, and this is our main problem. All these are integers and they have to be converted into strings. So str. So now let's run this and see. We get 1, 2. Let's send 250 cedis to the phone number 2, and then let's enter a password of 1234. Okay, this is not it's from the internet, but let's try again. Then 2, then 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we have you have successfully sent 2 to 2. The remaining balance is 298. So let's even try and garnish this just a little. Let's say we are working with CD. Okay, so let's bring GHS here, and then you have successfully sent GHS this, and let's bring this also here. Let's just bring some spaces here. Okay, good. Let's run this again. My internet today is a bit slow. Okay, so enter an option. We enter 1, phone number 057, and then amount we enter 20, and then password we enter 1234. So you have successfully sent 20 Ghana cedis to. Okay, I think the phone number I still brought a GHS. Let's clear that. So let's say 57. The remaining balance is 280 Ghana cedis. So since we can also do this for the second option, and then the third option and the fourth option. So let's quickly do something. Let's do something for the fourth option, which is my account. So what we can do actually is that we can just copy the whole of this, and make some few changes where you enter your password. Okay, so let's copy this and then paste here, and we are asking the user for his password now. Let's see. Okay. Let me count down. See. Okay, so we adjust too much away. Okay, we are not going to need this. We are not going to need this definitely. We are just going to need this one. Okay. Alright, so user password, right? So the user enters his password whilst he requests for and then it says here we shouldn't say you successfully. It says that your balance is, and then we give the person the remaining amount. Okay, let's clear this and write flat, and then write amount. Alright, so let's run this and then choose option 4, enter password 1 2 3 4, and it says invalid option. Yes, because we haven't changed this also into a string. Okay, but let's do something here. Let's do a try here. Try this. Try this. Let's put this also under this, and this under this. Okay, so we want to use a try set here because someone might input www and we don't want that. Except, and then we can tell the person, and then we can say print invalid password. Okay, password. However, if you write this, if we can type an else here and say print incorrect password. Alright, let's change this eyes to caps. Okay, so we can just copy this else and paste it here. Paste it here to also get the same else statement over here. So if this, else print this. Okay, I believe we did a try and accept over here. We didn't. Okay, so let's do that. Try. move this, and then let's say accept, and then say invalid password. Okay, invalid password. All right. Okay, we are heading to 35 minutes. How much more can we do? And here is the withdrawal. So the withdrawal to let the person enter the amount and password. So definitely we can copy from here up to here. Okay, copy. Okay, so up to here rather. Let's copy up to here. Let's just copy this piece so that we make sure that we have the right thing copied. Okay, so let's copy from here to here, and then we put it under the drawer. Okay, so we first ask the person to input an amount. Okay, we've done too much. Okay, so maybe we can change the sent amount to anonymous as withdrawal. Okay, like the option. Oh yeah, the option 3 is withdraw. So withdraw. Okay, so withdraw if withdraw is greater than, else if withdraw is this, you do not have enough balance, then try the enter password, and if the person enters the password correctly, then remaining amount equals minus withdrawal amount, and say that you have successfully withdraw this amount. Your remaining amount is this. Okay, so let me just clear this, put this here. So you have successfully withdraw this amount. That is the withdraw. Your remaining balance is the remaining amount. Okay, so let's try the withdrawal and see. Okay, we have an error. What is the error? It says the if on line 39, which is this very line, has a problem, and truly it has a problem. It's supposed to go back a little. So go inside a bit. Now let's run this again and see. We have except on line 51. Oh yay! We forgot all about you. Okay. Okay, so if you can see, the line is even showing me here, is drawn over here like this. Okay, so let's run this again and enter option 3, and then enter amount to be 20. Oh, okay, the internet problem. So option 3, then enter 20, enter password 1234. You have successfully withdrawn 20 Ghana cedis. Your remaining balance is 280. So this 20 Ghana cedis, let's actually space it out just a little bit. Yeah, successfully withdraw 20 cedis, and then your remaining balance. Okay, that is good. And let's see the option 2. The option 2 is to buy data. Whoa. Okay. So I think what we can do is buy data for ourselves, okay? Because it will be too long a process to be buying data for someone. So let's say enter amount and then enter password, okay? So we can copy the same thing. Clear this one, paste it here. And we have print. Okay, so this is what we're actually going to do. With this one, we have to do a little more. So input I believe we understand the concept now, and then we can do the rest, right? So let's say if I put the int here and I say option underscore 2 equals this, and then I say, so first let's say try, okay, so that just in case someone enters something differently, and then say accept. Okay, and what we are going to do is that option 2, we're going to print invalid option. Okay, and then what we are going to say is that if the option underscore 2 equals 1, oh, PHP comes in again, sorry, then we're going to do this. We're going to try to do something. Let me type something here. Let me copy it. Let me put this there. I was hoping it to be correct, but it's still not. So I have to shift them myself. Okay. Okay. Then try. Okay. 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 What do we have here? Anyway, if we have any error, you'll be able to catch it. So let's not waste my time. It says try option 2. If option 2 equals 1, ask the person to enter the amount, which is the data. So let's put airtime first. Okay, we just do for airtime, we not do for data. I believe you can do it for data as well. So let's do airtime, data, then option 1. If the option is 1, then try airtime. So let's say airtime amount equals this. Alright, and then if else if, then we try to get the password, and then it said you have successfully bought that will be, instead of airtime amount, instead of the amounts, let's replace all this with this. Okay, the remaining balance is that. Okay, so let's run this and catch any error that we have. We have an error line 40. Yes, it's not in well. Okay. Okay. What is this else statement? Okay, I think these are aligned well. 47. Let's try this. Okay, so this is where this is supposed to be. Let's run this again. We have a problem with our else statement on line 48, which is this. Okay. Actually, this else statement is for if greater than this. You should say invalid password. Where does the password? You do not have enough. Enter amount. Okay. So this else statement is supposed to be here. Good. Let's run this. It's the error 48. Still with the else. So let me quickly correct this and then get back to you. Okay, so everything has been moved well here. So now let's first try buying an airtime. So buy airtime with just option 2, and then we say enter an option 1. Okay, still have problem with the internet. So 2, 1, enter amount 23, password 1234. So you have successfully bought. Okay, let's just add airtime to it and end this for the day. Airtime. Your remaining balance is this. Okay, so basically that is it for our mobile money app. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll probably try and leave this in somewhere you can easily download and use so that you can follow up with this very well. Thank you very much and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye bye.